Hey y'all, hi. So in the slow fashion world, general consensus is that you have to resist trends. It's like trends bad, timeless good. And yeah, it kind of goes without saying that you can't build a long-lasting wardrobe while also chasing the seasonal trends of fashion. But here's the thing I've been thinking about. For a lot of people, part of personal style is the freshness and vibrancy that comes from being on trend in some way. It's complicated, but it's there. And in fact, I would venture to say that unless you're a person who collects vintage clothes and faithfully replicates the exact outfits of past eras, then your personal style is by default a riff on the trends of your lifetime and probably this decade, if not this year. You are always shopping the sea of what is available now, and the waters of that sea have been dyed by trends. So it doesn't make sense to define your style as trend immune or even to hold that up as some kind of moral ideal. And in fact, the word timeless gets used a lot to describe certain garments. I use it in good faith. But in a weird way, it's misleading because those qualities that define a timeless garment, like what's timeless? It's a black dress, or it has traditional tailoring. It's a trench coat. It has reasonable, demure proportions. Those items and those qualities in garments, they themselves trend sometimes and then stop trending. So what does it even mean for something to be timeless? Does it mean that it won't look uncool in a year or two? Won't look so last year? Next year? Because it depends on who's looking. If it's someone who's very plugged into fashion and is highly aware of the fact that trench coats were trending, and that person knows that now another kind of coat is trending, well, to that person, your timeless coat will look so last season. Not that that person's opinion should really matter. It's just that holes get poked in the concept. And trends, no matter how you feel about them, they develop in the context of communal aesthetics. It's part of human nature. For those of us who, and I know there are a lot of you out there, for those of us who are super sensitive to aesthetics, color, proportion, shape, for us, there's something ineffably compelling about a garment or an accessory that is on trend. There's honestly nothing like it. It has power. And even for people who aren't super sensitive to aesthetics, in my experience, there's still something that's pretty compelling about a trendy clothing item. It's the energy of the zeitgeist pulses around it and lends power to the wearer. So are we being asked to deny that power in order to build a long-lasting wardrobe? Because longevity in clothing is really important. It's important to your financial health that you not keep dumping piles of old clothing and buying piles of new clothing. It's important to your sense of self, honestly, that there be a kind of backbone to your wardrobe. And most of all, it's important to our planet that we reject the fast fashion model. So what does it look like to hold those two things in balance? Trends, which are seductive, I would say natural and kind of inescapable, with garment longevity, which is necessary. How can these ideas, the balancing of them, guide us as we shop and dress and feel our oats and get power from fashion, which is something that everybody deserves? Power and joy from fashion. We're all getting dressed, right? So you can either dress in a way that makes you feel good or that makes you feel worse. You're putting clothes on your body either way, unless you are a nudist, in which case, bless your little heart. But also, why are you watching this video? Why are the nudists among you tuned in to hannahlouiseposton.com? Anyway, I don't know if I have answers, right? But I have discussion points. I have thoughts that I hope will help. I'm about to dive into them. Take a moment to subscribe, please, if you aren't subscribed. I'll also link my prize-winning book of poetry in the description box below. So, discussion point number 1. I put it to you, I suggest to you that for any garment of yours, the quality that matters the most is its longevity in your life. And this relates to aesthetics, style, and also garment quality. It touches everything, every aspect of conscientious wardrobe building. For any garment, the one singular quality that matters the most, more than anything, is its longevity in your life. This matters more than its origin, its price, what it's made of, what it looks like. All the things that we're always discussing on this channel, this one quality matters more than all of them. And it also kind of relates to and encompasses all of them and sheds light on all of them, right? So if you're about to make a purchase, you can convert this statement to a question and ask yourself, in some ways, the only question that matters: how long am I going to keep this? How long am I going to keep this? Ask yourself that, and you should immediately be able to envision how relevant it will be to your style and to your body as the years pass. And relevant is such a strong word in this context, because relevance in like the fashion world or in the world of aesthetics and art, relevance is connected to the idea of trendiness, right? It's so relevant. When you ask yourself, how long am I going to keep this? You immediately give yourself these like future vision goggles for the relevance of that garment to you as years pass, like into the future. If something is conspicuously trendy, how long am I going to keep this? Might help you predict what is likely with a trendy garment, which is that it's going to become boring or feel passé, like within the year, or after just a year or so. Or it might cause you to envision yourself continuing to wear and to love that piece, even after it's not trending anymore, even after it has become passé to others. You might be able to see yourself wearing it and being happy that you have it after it has lost that frisson of freshness, after it has lost its relevance to others. In the life that you are actually leading, if you are going to continue to keep it and to wear it, even as the tides of fashion change, then it doesn't matter whether or not it's trendy, which means that it doesn't matter if it is trendy. So trendiness isn't a blight on a garment as long as it's going to have longevity for you. Asking how long am I going to keep this can also help you immediately see and care about whether or not the garment has structural integrity, which a lot of trendy garments don't, because they're kind of designed to expire with the trend. And this is something that we can often, if you're caught up in the moment, something's like so amazing to you right now, you can kind of forget to think about this aspect of it. So that's discussion point number one. And apropos of this talking point, a word from today's video sponsor, Negative. I have been a super fan of this brand for at least 5 years. Almost all of my bras are from Negative. I've spent my personal budget on their website so many times, and it's partly because when I ask myself this, how long am I going to keep this? With Negative, the answer is always, I will keep it for so many years. It will last so much longer than a poorly made bra, and I will wear it weekly. So it's an easy decision for me, and I've never regretted a purchase from Negative. Quick bra roundup for a bra that has a brilliant minimal silhouette and disappears under your clothes. I'm obsessed with the glacé mini bra and the underwire version, the glacé demi bra. These bras are such problem solvers for tops that usually show your bra. For a deep V bralette with a shocking amount of support, the Negative triangle bra. It's the perfect bra to wear under an oversized shirt that's unbuttoned all the way down to here, and for that reason, it's my most worn Negative bra. For a wildly comfortable bra that supports without an underwire and looks great under tight tanks and tees, the whipped non-wire bra is so iconic. I am enduringly grateful to be working with this brand, which I have loved since long before I was on their radar. So thank you to Negative for the support, both professionally and physically, structurally. Discussion point number one was, for a garment, the quality that matters the most is its longevity in your life. Discussion point number two, in order to interact productively with discussion point number one, you have to know what you like. You have to know what you like. It sounds obvious now that I'm saying it out loud, but it's not, though. To know what you like and why in fashion, to avoid just flailing around, to like bring it up out of your subconscious and into your conscious mind and look at it, to know what you like. Make a mood board, pay attention, come up with words that define your personal style, have aspirations, go shopping just to try stuff on, not to buy anything, just like try stuff on and see what fits and see how you feel in it and gather data. Gather data, know what you like, and no one can take that away from you, whether it trends or not. The more you do this, the more immunity you have, right? Not just to trends, but to the energy of like blanket trend resistance that can be confining, right? And can be paralyzing for some of us, especially the perfectionists among us. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But my example here, my own personal example is this. I love voluminous pants, like balloon pants. They have always been incredibly quirky, like very, very far left of what's normal, like what's normally worn. But now, magically, all of a sudden, this year, they are trending. Balloon pants are trending. I've had them on my Pinterest board for years. I have had a pair or two that are kind of adjacent to this, but they've been really hard to find, especially good quality ones, and especially really ones with that slight fashion edge. But now they're trending and they're everywhere. And I am in the wonderful position of having a vast array to choose from, and some of them are really high quality. And I know myself, I know what I like, and I know why, and I know myself well enough to know that my relationship with balloon pants will outlast this trend. So in a few years, when I'm still wearing my balloon pants and I go, the tides of the trends shift and I go back to just looking like a quirky middle-aged lady, I will be an eccentric middle-aged woman wearing unusually voluminous pants. Some people will know that they are out of style. Some people will just not care, and I will feel like myself and look like myself. So this knowledge led me to invest last month in a pair of breathtakingly expensive, but also breathtaking silk cotton balloon pants from a small independent brand, exactly what I would want, right? Like my perfect garment. I got them from Black Crane. If they're still available, I'll link them. Basically my main purchase of the season. And I feel totally confident. It's the best of all worlds, right? Physical longevity of the garment because it's well made and the materials are high quality. Enduring relevance in my wardrobe and on my body because I know from experience that this type of pant is part of the backbone of my personal style and that they will be ageless for me. And trendiness this year, which I consider to be just a perk. And, if I keep them for 15 years, which I hope to do, they will probably trend again. I also feel this way about sheer garments. Sheer is trending. I am cherry picking. I have been coveting and wearing sheer garments for decades and will continue to do so. I do not feel this way about, say, butter yellow. Butter yellow has never been part of my vision. It is trending. It is intriguing me, and I am treading very, very carefully around my interest in this color. It doesn't mean I won't buy anything that is butter yellow. It just means that it will be a much harder decision, and I'll need a bunch of extra reasons to believe that I will continue to wear the piece even when it stops trending and the years go by. So, longevity in your life, know what you like. And discussion point number 3, you can't always know. You have to know that you can't always know when you are buying something, how long you're going to keep it, and if it will have longevity for your style. Asking the question, how long am I going to keep this, is like a clarifying catalyst. But even if you think you know, you can't predict the future and you can't always know. And some people know that they know more than others, essentially. I feel like that's the main sub point of this discussion point. It's another facet of know thyself. So if you're young or otherwise at the beginning of your style journey, you definitely can't know for sure. At least based on my experience. You can be pretty sure that you are less confident that you know the answer to the question, how long am I going to keep this? You might think in the moment that you'll love something forever and never get sick of it, but there's a decent chance that you're wrong. So just don't stress yourself out, but act accordingly, right? Even if your passions are high, don't buy it in every color. Don't put it on your credit card if you can't afford it. Try not to buy like a garbage fast fashion version of it because the poor quality of the item will not allow you to get a holistic sense of whether or not the style works for you. It's like invalid research. Of course, you have to have clothes, you know what I mean? Like you have to buy them somewhere and you can't always be sure, and that's okay. But if you're in a phase of life where you're still learning what you like, knowing that will help you not to overcommit, basically. And if that's you, secondhand shopping is your best friend because that's where experimenting is dynamic, but won't cost you too much. If you know yourself really well, if you are a person of a certain age like I am, then you know yourself well enough to know whether or not you're sure about something. You can take risks more boldly, you can spend more on a single garment with more confidence, and you can be much more confident that you know that you yourself will continue to love and wear something even after it stops trending. So you can cherry pick trends more blithely, basically. Knowing that you can't know for sure also helps the perfectionists among us to be less intense about this and less hard on ourselves. Fashion does need a little room to breathe. Personal style benefits from a little lightness and a little risk-taking, a little impulsivity once in a while. It is in your best interest and in the best interest of the planet, which is also your best interest, to at least try to predict how long you are going to keep a garment that you're about to buy. But instead of doing it with like a desperate vice grip on needing to be right, which can be paralyzing, do it as best practices, knowing that it is an imperfect and a non-linear art. That's the thing. Building a personal style, building a wardrobe is an imperfect and non-linear art because it's intertwined with your identity. And personhood is ever developing, non-linear, and nuanced. And that's okay. But by placing a high value on a garment's longevity in your life, by asking yourself, how long am I going to keep this? Making a project out of knowing what you like and why. By doing those things, you set yourself up to be able to confidently ride the waves of trends, which again are natural and inescapable, to ride those waves instead of letting them just engulf you. So that is what I have to offer you. I sit here in my semi-sheer shirt that I've had since before sheer was trending and that I will wear after it stops trending. But note that it is not butter yellow. Could have just said that and skipped the whole video. Seriously, this topic is dear to my heart. This is like the stuff that keeps me up at night. And I know that it's the stuff that a lot of you care about and think about, and that's why you're even here. So glad to have filmed this one. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it provoked some thought. Absolutely let me know in the comments. And my friends, please, whatever you are doing, remember to take some time, sit quietly with yourself, and take truly good care of yourself.